Watch this movie.
I really don't wanna.
But it was given to us by Steve and Izzy.
You're still not selling me.
It has Goldberg,
This seems pretty terrible.
the wrestler Bill Goldberg.
Do we really have to?
Okay, I've got another plan.
Did I pour my own drink?
Nathan, take off your pants.
This is taking a weird turn.
Take them off quicker.
All right, stop right there. Stop right there.
Oh, who are
Brendan,
you?
Brendan, stop this transmission. We're here from the CBC, and we're here to shut this down for inappropriate content. And get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Oh, super glad you got here, CBC guy, because I'm feeling kind of woozy.
Nurse, if you could help that man over there, he seems to be experiencing some sort of delusions. I don't know.
Wait, Mr. CBC.
Yes?
Why did you bring your daughter?
Too quiet.
Gummy bears!
Oh, kid, I wouldn't touch the gummy bears. I wouldn't.
Do not touch the gummy bears.
I already ate 6 of them!
Oh no!
She's gonna be tripping balls.
Gummy bears!
Down I go.
Oh no! You're gonna fry for this. American justice.
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Ho ho ho!
You talk to my mother like that.
It's Santa Claus.
No, it's not. It's Brendan.
Oh, I almost got you. You should
Nah.
have seen the look on your face, which no one can see because we're a podcast.
Your beard is far too disheveled to be Santa Claus.
Actually, I'm pretty clean. I'm pretty fairly clean shaven right now. So,
I don't buy it.
well, you're gonna have to.
Anyhow,
Anywho, this is a new episode of What Were They Thinking? Who are you?
I'm Nathan,
I'm
as
Brendan.
I said before.
Well, you said it again.
Right.
And we're talking about a film, an important film. This is a Patreon pick from Steve and Izzy of Everything I Learned from Movies. Oh, look who's in the room. It's Steve and Izzy from Everything I Learned from Movies.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Izzy. And this is Everything I Learned from Movies.
And tonight.
Oh, tonight.
All right, knock it off.
Knock it off. This is our show.
Fun facts. Yeah.
Who's he, Steve?
You're making it worse.
We're talking about the Christmas cinematic masterpiece starring Bill Goldberg, 2000 and I didn't even look up the year.
It was
2005.
2005?
2005's Santa's Sleigh, spelled S-L-A-Y.
And as I said previously, I enjoyed this as a one-off joke in Ernest Saves Christmas. I didn't need the actual movie.
Spoiler alert, this movie is terrific.
It's something, that's for sure.
It's an incredible 72 minutes long or something like that.
It is brief, so that's a point in its favor.
But Santa's Sleigh, usually we do a little preamble, some background to this movie. There really isn't a lot. It was a Christmas movie with Bill Goldberg playing a killer Santa Claus. And unlike our two other killer Santa Claus movies that we've done on this show alone, this is an actual Santa Claus that kills people.
Yeah, not some dude dressed as Santa who's
Yeah.
pissed off at his mall job as Santa Claus.
And unlike the other killer Santa Claus movie, this does not have mostly footage from another movie.
True. It does suffer from a severe lack of Irish nuns, but
Well, you know what, Nathan? I'm just really glad she's on her way to Ohio right now. So,
yeah.
oh, yeah. So, Brent, have fun with that. So before we really get started, well, actually, we get started here with a plethora of cameos.
Yes, I feel that they spent a good chunk of the budget just on the cameos.
We have Rebecca Gayheart, the cover girl model. The nanny, Fran Drescher.
Right?
I knew that was going to happen.
Dude.
The second appearance on this show of Chris Kattan. Mm-hmm. And an uncredited James Caan.
I wonder why.
Yeah, when I saw James Caan on the screen, I was like, wait, there's no way he's actually in this movie. It's got to be a lookalike or something.
I thought I turned on Elf for like a hot second.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I didn't see his name in the credits. So, like you, Steve, I also questioned the authenticity of whether he was in this movie or not. Like, surely he would be credited. Nope.
See, well, here's the real question: what does the director have on James Caan?
Right.
Well, and just to give you everyone listening a sample of what the dialogue is kind of like right from the get-go. This is a little sample of the family talking to each other. I'm not sure how they're related either. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
What does Gwenny want from big old Santa?
Just a faithful husband.
What's the second thing she wants? You know what I'm thinking, Angel?
What, darling?
I was thinking, dear God, don't let this bird taste like a shoe like it did last year. Let it be tender and moist just for once.
Yeah, moist. That would be nice. It's called foreplay.
I don't want to screw the bird. I want to eat it.
There you have it. So a nice image in your head of James Caan and Fran Drescher having sex.
You cut it off before he could use his gay slur.
Oh yeah, half an F word
Yeah.
he says to Chris Kattan. Yeah. So okay, can we before we even get the appearance of Santa, how is everyone related here?
Okay, so if I could take a swing at it.
Okay, go for it.
James Caan, uncredited James Caan,
Yes, uncredited Caan.
is married to very credited Fran Drescher.
Very credited, yes.
Beautician and the Beast.
So,
she is boobular. I agree.
Chris Kattan, I believe, is her brother-in-law, and I think
Okay.
James Caan's brother-in-law as well.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So the other girl would be like James Caan's sister.
Okay. So
And-
Kattan is boning, is married to Rebecca Gayhart's character,
Right.
and boning her sister on the side.
Sister-in-law. Fran Drescher would be her sister-in-law.
Oh,
Because I was saying James
'cause
Caan was her
right.
brother.
So the two
So
younger
James
girls.
Caan and Rebecca Gayheart are brother and
Oh,
sister?
no. You know what I bet it is? It's not James Caan's daughter. Fran Drescher is like a second or third wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
So okay, let's take a look at this for a second. We will get into the rest of the film.
Looking Glass here, people.
So
Unpack this scene.
If
Yeah,
only
we
Santa
really-
could show up and just kill everybody before we could find
we
out.
we really need to figure this out before we move on, guys. So Fran Drescher, you're saying Fran Drescher is like kind of like sort of a trophy wife type deal,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
but even though she's like not really like the typical age.
was maybe.
okay, okay.
Again, like
Yeah,
probably
10
a
years
second.
ago, she
Yeah.
was the trophy wife.
Okay,
And now
so-
he can't get rid of her, which is why they're miserable.
because they don't have moist sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like sandpaper.
Well, I mean, it is James Caan.
Exactly. And Fran Dresser.
God damn. Glad the unrated cut didn't come out. So, Fran Drescher and James Caan are married.
Right.
And you're saying that Rebecca Gayheart is James Caan's sister?
No, daughter.
Daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, and Chris Kattan. So,
Is her husband.
so Chris Kattan is boning his mother-in-law?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got that. So the daughters, who, by the way, wish that they are thankful that they're not Samoan.
That was weird.
That was weird, which they kind of commented on because they probably thought audiences will think this is weird, but then that's it. They just kind of left it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty fucked up situation.
Yep.
Familial situation. Steve, Izzy, do you have any thoughts to the alternative, or does that sound like a pretty succinct view of this family unit?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I figured was, that Fran Drescher and James Caan were married, and the other ones were the daughters. The only thing I could have possibly thought is that the other guy was just Fran Drescher's boyfriend, like the pool boy, and she's that blatant about her cheating is that she just brought him to dinner.
Yeah. Chris Kattan, again, not if he's supposed to be the pool boy, not ideal casting.
Yeah, no, but again, like, that's how low she set her standards because she's that miserable in her marriage. But
he is mango.
The dog is named Scribbles from Blues Brothers 2000.
That is a good name.
Okay, and guess what, guys? Santa Claus comes in. And, of course, they called Fran Drescher's character Virginia so he could make the joke, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Yeah. So, we get the nanny laugh, because everyone was waiting for that. That's the fan service we all wanted. Or dolphin, whatever. Oh my god, Fran Drescher has a talking dolphin? Why did that ever happen?
Oh, coming next summer, Fran Drescher is Flipper.
Oh my god. Look who's talking and Flipper together.
no, Zeus and Roxanne, so you can have a talking dog and dolphin romance.
And
Can
a shirtless
John-
goot.
James Caan could play Zeus the dog.
Wait, can John Travolta and Kirstie Alley still be the parents?
Yes.
Perfect.
Gilbert
And I
Godfrey
still
as
want-
the dog.
See, they broke up, and now Kirstie Alley's dating the goot, and John Travolta has to go win her back.
Wait,
For those
and
who
I
don't know,
still
the goot is Steve Gutenberg.
and I still want the kids to be well, the kids are obviously teenagers now, but I still want their thoughts to be voiced by Bruce Willis and Roseanne Barr.
Oh, are you kidding? No. They're like in their 40s.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr, that's controversial.
But yeah, their voices are still just done.
Oh, sorry, no, Roseanne Barr, not Kevin Spacey. My bad, Steve.
Okay.
So Santa kills everyone in pretty inventive ways, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel just the entire movie, again, is like Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first one, where it's got a real loose plot and everything is just dotted with, man, wouldn't it be cool if Santa killed someone like this?
And it was.
And that's it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know
Because
what you're talking
he-
about. It's fucking awesome.
He uses the treetop or star like a shuriken.
Yeah, because that's how those things are built, right?
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
He kills Rebecca Gayheart with a board with like a nail in it. Chris Kattan's death is the dumbest because he just throws him into a cabinet.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else dies horrible, gory deaths, and Kattan literally just takes a pratfall and then he's supposedly dead.
Well, that was just unintentional.
He had a more dignified death than Monkey Bone.
Yeah, exactly. And so much so that I almost expected him to show up in the last bit of the movie and be like, guys, I'm still here.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Turns out I'm perfectly fine.
Okay, Romano, what are you doing here?
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-bop. And then the credits roll. But yeah, everyone's killed. I think Fran Drescher gets her hair set on fire and then she's drowned in
Yeah.
eggnog.
Yeah.
James Caan gets a fucking turkey leg in the throat.
Yep.
Greatest death
Suck
ever.
on this.
Yeah. Oh, Santa gets some choice one-liners throughout this movie.
Oh,
But-
the dad jokes in this thing were just... mwah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
cut to the worst cover of a Christmas classic ever.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note starting here. As bad as this movie is, the music is worse than the worst acting in this movie. All of the music in this is awful.
You mean you didn't like that song that was like, wow, Santa Claus is going out down the street?
Oh, the one that was just like guys attempting to like punk rock just his actions.
Yep.
Now he's opening up a Diet Coke!
It's like a punk Randy Newman.
Not lying. I would listen to that.
Because Randy Newman would do it right.
in my
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
Opening credits.
Did you notice in the credits, like they had the textiles, not the textiles that you can close with, but the text tiling with the people's names, but it was also hidden in the Sanskrit or dead language or whatever that was supposed to be.
I wrote that down because I was like, well, they clearly thought either, oh, no one's really actually able to read this, so we'll put real credits too.
Yeah.
Or they didn't finish the effect, and they were like, wait, it's all the same color. No one's going to be able to see these credits.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a focus group thing. After the first screen, they're like, yeah, so there was that book thing, but we couldn't read any credits? Is that saving for the end? Or?
Couldn't you just render the actual credits a different color? No, that'll take far too much time.
I don't have time for this.
Let's completely redo it.
Do you have any idea how expensive James Caan is for 4 hours?
We won't credit him.
Did you notice that one of those credits that was hidden but did not appear on screen was Brett Ratner?
Yep.
I thought I saw his name.
And I was like, wait a second, so is he part of this movie?
Yeah, he was a producer. He came up a little later, I think, when they were like showing the town and stuff, like produced by Brett Ratner. I'm like, oh, that's why this got made. Okay.
It's like Brett Ratner's AD or something directed this movie. So, that turned out, great. Oh, I forgot that Goldberg also kicked a dog into the fan.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Scribbles.
Scribbles, yeah. Poor Scribbles.
Raffles.
I thought of you when he did that, Brendan.
Actually, it wasn't really bothered by it because it was so cartoonish. The more realistic, the worse. So we start out in Hell Township.
Yep.
So it's in Hell, Michigan.
Yep. I was born in Michigan.
Yeah, no, Hell's a real place. They have an ice cream shop called Ice Cream in Hell.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Hell, this is one of the first characters we meet. Let's just take a little listen here.
The hell is in the holiday hoagie?
Turkey, cranberry stuffing, mayo.
What? Slow down. And stop smacking on that damn chewing gum.
Yeah, turkey, Raisinets, Cheerios, cranberries, gummy bears, Altoids.
Oh, you're being cute, you little shit. Just give me the roast beef plain. None of that lean crap. You're just as loony as your crackpot grandfather. I hope you haven't inherited that old codger Yuleson's Christmas spirit. Tell that boob to put some Christmas decorations up.
How you doing there, Mrs. Talbot? How are you? That's a roast beef sandwich. That's $4.75.
That's with the senior discount.
Yes, it is.
What a hustle.
Did $4.50 make you any happier?
$4.50.
Here you go. And have a very happy holiday there, Mrs. Talbot.
Don't use that political language shit with me. It's Christmas. Wish me Merry Christmas.
I'm sorry. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Talbot.
Thank you. And go fuck yourself. What a fucking whore.
Lovely.
I
I'm
know.
with her.
Saul
That kid's a shit.
Right?
Oh, that
Saul,
kid's
the
horrible.
deli guy.
But
He's super unlikable.
he is, but I actually hate that old woman too.
I actually kind of love her because she reminds me of a family member of mine who is now passed, who was actually a really sweet lady, but would totally put on that, like, grumpy lady persona, and it's hilarious.
Well, I'm just saying, like, anytime I've ever said Happy Holidays, someone and some old lady freaked out at me, it's basically like this woman in the movie.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Wish me Merry Christmas! Sit on your thumb. So anyway, that
In
old
fact,
woman...
I retract my previous holiday well wish.
What?
Well, Hanukkah is over,
And
so
may you go fuck yourself as well, milady.
it's Merry Kwanzaa, you asshole.
But yeah, anyway, she gets killed quickly, thankfully. Because Goldberg, for some reason, so Santa Claus is like, for some reason he has to drive on the road? In his sleigh that flies?
Yes.
Yeah,
he's like stuck behind her on the road, and she's doing the stereotypical old woman driving, and his
What, like smoking like a chimney?
and his like reindeer buffalo thing bucks her off the road and flips the car over and basically kills her.
I was like, oh, come on, please. Give her the silent night, deadly night treatment. Come on, Santa.
Oh God!
By the way, why does he have a buffalo?
Yeah, I don't understand that. And
That's
he
a
almost
North American
all right,
creature.
guys, I
I
think
thought
I
they
can
called it
answer
a
this
hell
one.
deer.
Yeah,
call it a hell deer.
I can answer this one.
Yes.
So, in lore, Santa has reindeer.
And buffalo.
However, in the prop room, they had the thing from White Buffalo, 1977, Charles Bronson movie. Check it out. And so they had to dress that up like a reindeer.
The funny thing is, I don't know if you guys, because Steve and Izzy said for some reason when they watched it there were no outtakes. I don't know if you saw the outtakes, Nathan.
Oh, I did.
But that animal was very unleashed on the set apparently, because
And again, that's because, Brendan, remember, they live in an alternate dimension.
right.
Their
Where they-
Showgirls 2 is different. It would stand to reason that their Santa's Sleigh release was different.
Correct. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Goldberg had a little moment in the outtakes where the buffalo kind of bucked up, and Goldberg was like, "Goodbye."
Yep.
It's pretty great. So anyway, that old lady's dead. But yes, we meet the most unlikable main character I think I've seen in a long time.
Before you do that, did you catch what the old lady yelled to Goldberg?
No.
Suck it.
Oh. Also, she was unfazed by the fact that Santa Claus was behind her on the road.
I just thought it was great that somebody threw a DX taunt at Goldberg.
She couldn't see past her cataracts.
She's like, "I watched the Monday Night Wars."
I liked that subtle joke than the other one that comes towards the end or at the very end.
At the
Wait,
very
do you
end,
really
yeah.
think the movie was aware enough that they were making a DX joke?
I hope so. If they're aware enough to make the other joke.
I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, Doug Yulson is his fucking name. The most unlikable person in the world. And just why is he unlikable? Because he is a horrible person.
And he wishes he was Ryder Storm.
Ryder Strong?
Or Ryder Strong, sorry.
Yeah. His grandfather doesn't celebrate Christmas for reasons unknown at this time, but he is the kind of person where is this girl his girlfriend right away?
I don't know.
I think she wants to be his girlfriend, and I feel like he is such a self-absorbed prick. He's not picking up on any of her subtle hints, but she definitely wants a piece of that.
Yeah, and I have no idea what is attracting her to him, because this
is back to that movie cliche of apparently he's completely unresistible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and just to point this out, wasn't Chris Kattan married to Rebecca Gayheart earlier?
I don't see the issue there, Steve. What are you trying to point out?
I just saying,
Apparently there's different beauty standards in this movie
Dimension.
universe.
You say Corky Romano and the Noxzema chick. I don't know.
I mean, I guess when your best choices are Doug Yulson, James Caan, and Chris Kattan, you take what you can get.
Yeah.
So Doug Yulson is, again, he's contemptible. He so much so that he even drops the R word later when the girl tries to give him a gift. He's like,
Right? How
Like-
dare she get him a present?
dude. But soon enough, so he works at a deli with her and with their boss, played by Saul Rubinek. Saul Rubinek, when Alfred Molina won't return your calls.
Aw, that's mean.
Well, it's true though.
So our next
I didn't
interview
say
on
anything
everything I
about it
learned
not
from
being
movies.
truthful.
What was that, Steve?
So our next interview on everything I learned from movies is Mr.
Alfred
Saul
Molina?
Rubinek.
Oh, because Alfred Molina didn't email you back?
Maybe.
All right, Mr. Rubinek, you played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2. Sorry, wrong document file there. You played the cokehead gangster in True Romance.
Yes. Leo Leibowitz, I believe.
Yeah.
Wait. Why do you always get cast in Jewish roles?
I honestly have no idea. They pay better.
His name could not be more Jewish if it was Sam Eddick.
It's strange how that he's Unitarian.
Oh, greatest fake Simpsons credit ever. Yep. So he's a total dick. So anyway, Mr. Green, Sal Rubinek, gives them gifts. He gives them a snow globe and a world clock.
Yep.
Right?
And
a Games Illustrated world clock.
What?
It was supposed to be like a Sports Illustrated clock, but
I didn't even notice that. Games Illustrated. Wow.
Yep.
She offers her, I guess, quasi soon-to-be boyfriend a drive home, and he's like, "No, I've got my scooter." But he ends up relenting and getting in the car with her, and they play a song that is on the radio that Izzy really likes.
Oh yeah, the music in this. I'm buying the soundtrack now.
Hell yeah! So then
I do gotta say, it would be great to work at a hip hop station in hell if it was as cool as it actually sounds.
I work at the hip hop station in hell.
Isn't that a predominantly white Irish community? Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a lot of Polish.
Okay.
We meet Doug's grandfather, played by Robert Culp. He is the inventor of the world's biggest backpack iPod, I guess, with like a record player. But it's a record player strapped to a backpack.
Yeah.
With headphones.
I actually have a note. Is this Rand Pelser? Is this a Gremlins sequel?
I didn't know why they made him an inventor because it doesn't really do anything.
Track with anything else about him?
But that's how. But spoiler alert: that's how they're going to wrap up the end of the film with one of his inventions.
Fair,
right? But other than that, why the fuck is he an inventor?
They need a reason why he never leaves the house and yet can afford to take care of his grandson.
Well, I don't want.
It's either that or he's an architect.
It's your kids, Monty. It's got something to do with your kids.
What, do they turn out to be assholes or something?
That would be great. What if future you showed up and was like, your kids, they're going to grow up to be huge assholes. We've got to fix this now.
Hold very still. I'll get the scissors. Wait, what? No.
No. Can't I just change my parenting style? It's too late for that.
Wow, this episode keeps taking turns. My
#
goodness.
child murder.
Not yet, Steve. Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
So the giant iPod.
That's how we got here. That was the walk we took.
Santa Claus is walking around killing folk because he poses as a Salvation Army Santa, I guess, and murders somebody who tries to rob him. And then this little girl walks by, and because there's a bell, and she goes, "Is an angel getting its wings?"
Yeah, they really dialed up the Christmas puns and references and jokes in this thing.
What else are they going to do?
Oh, sorry. I just noticed my note about the backpack record player, and I labeled it the hipster Walkman.
Yeah. Next big thing in San Francisco.
And was there also a put your eye out joke nodding to A Christmas Story there?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they've basically just got a couple writers together. We're like, all right, we need all the Christmas cliches. We'll make a list. We'll work them in somehow.
I do want to say, though, I know that It's a Wonderful Life is a holiday classic and a lot of people know what it is, but I don't think a 7-year-old would be able to reference it.
Right.
Especially
the cool 7-year-old would.
I will say,
young Steve
in 2005.
Speaking of, 7-year-old me actually thought several times about doing what Santa did to the guy who robbed him, and that is impaling him with a shiv-like candy cane that he made himself.
Yeah. In the eyeball.
Right in the eye. That's the put your eye out. There we go. We solved that mystery.
There we go. So, yeah, he kills that dude. Back to Grandpa's house, and he's like, oh, Grandpa, why do you hate Christmas so much? As if that's like the first time he's asked him, even though it's been like 18 or 16 years of not celebrating Christmas. But because this is where the movie begins, this is where he has to ask him. And he says, oh, I have this giant book. And the kid references Evil Dead, but he can't even properly pronounce Necronomicon.
Necronomicon.
Because he's like, is that a Necronomicon? Or something like that.
Necromanin?
Necronomicon?
Yeah. And I'm just
Look
like,
over there, it's Pumaman.
Oh,
Pumaman.
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 when you reference another movie, try to pronounce it properly.
Do you want to get sued?
Now we owe them $15. Thanks a lot.
The shitting.
Look, you really have to mispronounce this book's title because Sam Raimi will destroy us in court.
Sam Raimi doesn't even know what Santa's sleigh is.
It's also not even a trademark name. That's been around for a bit.
Sam Raimi's fighting for it.
There you go.
Go to his GoFundMe page, guys.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Raimi's
One of-
insanely litigious.
One of several lawsuits against Brett Ratner at this time.
I need to know, is Robert Culp, is he supposed to be Irish or Norse or Scottish?
I think Norse.
Well, he tells
Okay.
Yulson, right?
Yeah, he
Right.
tells his grandson he should brush up on his Norse.
Right. But when he starts reading the text in English, he affects an Irish accent a couple of times.
I will be bold and say that they spent no time preparing this movie.
And then later, when he's replete in his finery for the final act, he looks like a Scottish Highland dancer.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there that, spoiler alert, as we find out later in this movie,
No!
he is timeless. Therefore, I'm sure he's lived in all of his countries. It's the same
That's
reason.
true.
He's the Highlander.
He is He's one of the Highlanders. It's the same reason why Sean Connery is from Spain.
See, I didn't know any of that when I was watching this, because this is the very first time I'd ever seen this movie.
You're welcome.
You've got to
Likewise.
read between the lines.
Likewise, we recommended it without seeing it, just knowing that it existed. Because some asshole told us to watch Santa with muscles.
Santa with muscles? What asshole told you to watch that?
Hey, he has a podcast you've never heard of.
He's dead to me.
Oh,
He's from Canada, you don't know him.
harsh.
Some Canadian jerk.
Nathan, you made them watch Santa with muscles?
Oh no, it would have been
No,
an
our
Ernest
beloved
movie.
Patreon, Brendan, picked it out for us.
Santa, he said my name!
It's our podcast, Dick Weed. You started it with, I'm Brendan.
What? What's going on? Wait,
Make a big
just
deal.
like,
He's been eating those gummy bears.
just a second.
So Santa stabs a candy cane into somebody's eye.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, we're past that.
No, we're past that.
We
So,
can talk about it some more.
no, we're good. Let's move
So
on.
Marty's asshole kids have to be stopped.
Can you explain how come the alarm goes off every time someone opens the door? Don't you?
No. That's
Because-
because they arm it, or they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But they don't. Every time they open the door, it goes off to say, oh, the alarm is about to go off. You have so much time to put the code in. They put the code in like once in the movie. Every other time they do it, they just walk away with the beeping going off, and the alarm never goes off. Worst alarm security company ever.
But I thought
It's
once
because
you're...
the grandpa made it and he didn't actually hook it up to any company.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. This is where we find out that Santa Claus is actually the Antichrist, and
Oh my God.
Christmas is his birthday.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Santa is the son of the devil, by the way. And the reason he is evil is because he was good for 1,000 years, was because he lost a curling game to an angel.
Yeah, curling, and I was like, oh, this is why it was recommended by Brendan.
Recommended by Brendan.
while
You're the one
that-
who gave it to us.
Well, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
wait.
The
You son of a bitch.
the wager that they make seems a little one-sided because he's like, if I win, you got to be nice for 1,000 years, and he's like, but if I win, you're damned to hell for eternity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's how you make those kind of bets. That's how you win. Taking
And-
big risks.
spoiler alert, the same bet is made later in the movie, but with forever replacing the 1,000 years. Which, at the time, I said, why didn't you just make that fucking bet in the first place?
Because he was short-sighted. Also, I do have to grant this animated scene, it's like,
Oh, the Rankin and Bass, delightful.
I really enjoyed it. It was the best part of the whole movie should have been done like this.
Oh my, it would get a lot more points from me if that were the case.
How much fun would it be watching Fran Drescher's hair on fire if she was in stop motion?
Guys, we have to talk about Pastor Dave Thomas.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Good old Doug McKenzie.
Yeah, that. So the pastor's a real hoser, and he's doing this. He's doing this speech. He's a delightful man, getting collections, and then he takes his collection plate to the strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As one does.
And,
I don't see the problem here.
Of course, after he shows up at the strip club, and it's like the saddest thing ever because he's like, "Hey, so we gonna have any problems tonight?" He's like, "No, it's Christmas Eve. I think you're good."
I don't see how it's sad. He seemed pretty happy when he walked in. In fact, he yelled, "Hey, nice tits."
Yeah.
Yeah, and
totally.
they
He's a
did.
very-
They were decent tits. So there you go. It was accurate.
Yeah, he's
Merry
a happy,
Christmas, everybody.
totally unbroken man. You're right. How could I have ever thought the otherwise?
Merry
I have a
Christmas.
this scene here made me think about that story I told on your guys' podcast about the lap dance. Check out Showgirls 2 on Everything I Learned from Movies for that story. But while I was there, I noticed around the establishment they had signs that said "Tip with paper money only, please."
Yeah.
Make it hail.
Well, not only that, because they were like, the idea, because they were throwing like pennies and shit like that. In Canada, you could actually have like $3 hurled at you, and it would hurt because of
coinage.
$1 and $2 coins.
What
old
fucking
loonies.
asshole was throwing loonies on the stage?
Yeah, and that's it. There's a reason why there's a sign.
Jesus. Anytime
Somebody
I see
had to be spoken to, and then a sign had to be made.
Anytime you see a sign like that, it's so depressing because you're like, oh, there had to be an incident to have someone make that sign.
Yeah, they had enough trouble that they had to physically make a sign over it.
Oh shit, it's Tootie Tommy. You better put that sign up.
I thought it was great when he was going in. The marquee for the strip joint had it was home to the Klondikes, and the guest that night was Tess Tickle or something like that.
Yep.
Which, I'm just going to say right now, I get it. I get the joke, like her name is Tess Tickler, but that's not a good stripper name. That's like Testicular? That's not really appealing. I don't know.
Maybe he's going to like a super progressive strip club.
If it's a cross-dressing stripper, then I get it. But if it's just a woman, with the name Tess Tickler, no. But Goldberg goes in, and Goldberg goes into the establishment after he kills the guy at the front with a wreath. Chokes him
Ho
out.
ho ho's.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho's, makes out with a stripper. # Me Too Santa. And
Maybe it's warm inside.
Yeah, that's right. They have a shovel and a pickaxe right above the bar.
Because it's gold diggers.
It's the gold diggers, yeah.
It's the gold digger
yeah.
club.
Yeah, we had that same thought too. It's like, oh yeah, I guess it is a mining
Goes with
theme.
the whole motif they have for the place.
Yeah.
I get the design, but the fact that they have a working shovel and pickaxe.
It's not like they have moving parts, Brandon.
Say it's not like, oh man, they really had a 2-stroke engine. That's it's a shovel and a pickaxe.
Probably
make
cheaper to have
sure-
a real one than put a fake one up.
Make sure the firing pin has been filed down and removed from that shovel and pickaxe.
I would get if they had a design, like a logo, not actual pickaxe and shovel.
Again, it was cheaper to get an actual pickaxe and shovel than
You know
to make
nothing
a
about
sign.
strip club decor.
You're putting sharp objects like that in a strip club with drunk assholes. Yeah, okay. Good.
Yeah,
Above
because
the bar.
Yeah. Unless you're a goddamn 7-foot tall wrestler with the mystical powers, you're not getting up there and utilizing it.
So Steve could have used it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Santa sprays down a stripper pole before he uses it to
Yeah,
electrocute
he
someone.
totally had to sanitize that before he touched it.
Yep. He stabs someone with it, I think, and then he uses another one and he uses it to hand to someone and then push it up into a light to electrocute them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say right now, before we go any further, a lot of the deaths in this movie are pretty inventive.
Yeah.
That they are.
They did a good job on that.
Yeah, it wasn't just like Silent Night, Deadly Night where people were just getting stabbed.
I feel like the entire movie was based around the deaths.
Yeah.
As one would do.
That is how a movie like this gets made.
Goldberg did a kip up. I don't think I ever saw him do that in wrestling once.
Really?
Not to my recollection.
I remember him doing it a lot in his earlier days.
Okay.
Yeah, just it'd be he'd take someone's signature move and then do the kip up, and the guy would turn around and he'd be like, "Rah!"
Okay.
Yeah. That was a video for everyone at home.
Yeah.
Why does Grandpa have an automatic page turning machine?
Yeah, that was a little... Well, because the oils on your fingers will cause a 5,000-year-old book or whatever to deteriorate over time.
Also, he's an inventor.
But also, it's able to recognize vocal signals, because when the kid is reading the giant book and he's just gets to the end of the page, it knows to turn the page.
He has to read it in time. It just automatically turns every so many seconds.
Yeah.
God.
So, if you're a slow reader, you're screwed at Grandpa's place.
No, wait,
Absolutely.
go back. To he, the. Oh, the. Turtle? Oh, the turtle, Okay, I'm just gonna read it for you.
So anyway, Goldberg finishes killing people, and then he leaves the strippers in the bar and sets it on fire. Enjoy your death trap, ladies. And
Yeah, he calls them
leaves.
naughty. I disagreed. They were quite nice.
They were. And did it remind you of Silent Night, Deadly Night, when he kept saying naughty,
Naughty. Yeah.
before he killed people?
Naughty.
Also, the way he finds out if they're all naughty is he blows on coal, apparently, and it turns red.
No, I think he just that he.
Oh no,
used
that was
to
how
start
he
the
activated
fire.
his bomb. Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
was his
thought-
coal bomb.
I thought that doubled as a naughty nice detector.
No. That was just his coal bomb. Because you get coal for Christmas when you're naughty.
His Michael Cole bomb?
Yeah, his Michael Cole bomb.
You just made Izzy make a wrestling reference.
I did. I forced
Good
it
job.
upon
Yep,
her.
there you
Damn
go.
it, you fell for it, babe.
Hashtag me too.
What?
Just forcing it on me. And I didn't want it.
Oh my god!
So back to Grandpa's...
Let me get this. What is Doug Yuletide or whatever his name is do on Christmas Eve?
They're watching Horny Asian Housewives or something?
No, they're watching Demolition Derby.
Oh, yeah.
But there is
Yeah.
an ad for a college bowl game coming up, and it's the AsianPornHousewives.com bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, Steve watches a lot of bowl games and says they have weird titles.
Yeah, they change every couple of years, so that might be valid back in 2005.
Boy, howdy, I can't wait to see the Brazzers.com Rose Bowl.
Last year it was the Puppy Bowl. This year it's the Horny Asian Housewives Bowl.
Right?
The most unrealistic part of this is that there's a destruction derby on TV, because if that shit was real, I'd be watching it.
But Grandpa says, "All right, time to go. I'm hitting the sack, going to bed, leaving Nick and his not sort of on again, off again girlfriend."
Look, if he doesn't start banging Claire from Law soon, I'm going to. All right?
Did we mention too that she's a huge hunting
Well, her dad.
Oh,
is.
yeah.
her family's
Yeah,
heart?
her dad
No,
is.
she is too. She shot a wolverine and fed it to Grandpa.
I thought the dad shot it.
No, she said I shot it. I thought she said I shot it this
No,
morning.
she said her father shot it.
Her
this
dad
morning.
did. Yeah.
Okay, well, she's also super into hunting because she's got guns everywhere.
Well, the funny thing is, she comes over with. So anyway, they're sitting there, and he says, basically, Nicholas is like, "No, I get it. You think my grandfather is odd," and she's like, "Well, I don't know, maybe like a little bit." And he's like, "Oh, you think he's a little bit odd? Your dad has fucking guns, you piece of shit!" And I'm just like, "Holy fuck, calm down."
Yeah, he's a dick.
He's gonna die a virgin.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a super hot chick who's into him on his couch, all alone on Christmas Eve, and he throws her the fuck out.
Like, she is ready to give it up for him right there.
He's gonna get his present a little early.
Yeah.
Nope, he's mad because he's in love with his boss.
Hashtag such story.
Well, don't worry, Steve, because although he plays 16, the actor is like 20, so it's all good.
Oh, yeah, so he's allowed to be in love with his boss.
Yeah.
Wait, can you legally do that in a movie?
I don't know, ask every 90s teen movie.
Yes, Clueless.
Yeah.
So we get, oh my god, guys, the greatest cameo in this movie is coming up right now, because Nicholas goes to a gas station.
And it's Zeus.
Zeus!
Yeah.
With a shirt on that says, "Eat here and get gas."
That's right.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, he's actually a pleasant fella in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was like, is this a Friday sequel? Is that Bebo?
I feel like it might
it's the
be.
Friday
because
universe.
He says, I came here, I moved out of the hood. And the
Things were too
music they
rough.
play... Yeah, the music they play sounded like it came from Friday. I don't know, maybe Brent would know more about this, because he's a huge fan of that series, but it seemed like it was the same guy.
Yeah, the working title was Friday After Christmas.
Oh, God, I wish.
And then Ice Cube and Chris Tucker and everybody else said no when they read the script. And
then-
they had to work
But
into
no
this.
thanks.
Yeah, but then Mike Epps was like, wait, come back! But Zeus's cameo, I mean, it's great to see Zeus, but he pretty much does nothing. We do find out, though, through him that Mr. Green, a.k.a. second choice Alfred Molina, has been killed by Santa Claus with a menorah in the throat.
His lover... Wait, what?
And he got impaled, like, to the wall.
And how does he talk? Because he gets like a last moment where he talks to Nicholas, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive for like 2 seconds so he could say, Santa's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Nicholas is suspect number one in that case, right? And would have been
100%.
taken away by the cops. Right?
100%. The cops in this are awful.
He's
Well,
literally
they also take away a group of Hasidim.
Oh, which they call Amish people?
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, Nicholas is literally standing in front of a dead body, and the cops show up, they're like, what do we have here?
Disagreement with your boss, eh?
So
And they kept,
yeah.
this isn't kosher. Guess that's the end of his Festival of Lights. The Hanukkah jokes were just
Like,
as
wait,
thick
I
as-
got three more. Hold on.
Well, and did you note earlier the girls called it Chanukah?
Yep. Also, if I'm Nicholas and these cops are like making jokes about, my boss that was just brutally murdered,
Who is clearly like a father figure type to him.
yeah, I'm like, excuse me, dickheads, can you not?
Ooh, that's a quick way to get thrown in the slammer.
Yeah, but he was white, so it's fine.
Oof. Taking a hot take.
By Hell, Michigan standards,
Is
I
it
mean,
is it a hot take, really? But yeah, the cops are the worst, and they're the most incompetent police officers. So they bring.
so
him
then
to
Zeus was arrested.
What was the cop's slogan?
crime will have hell to pay or something like that.
That's it.
There's not a chance in hell. Crime doesn't stand a chance in hell. That's what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't bother to write down the slogan. I just wrote down a note that said cop slogan.
But then they take him to the station to meet with the sheriff. We get some hilarious jokes about Cock and Bush.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, there's like two officers. One's named Sergeant Cock, and one's like Officer Bush or whatever. And he's like,
No, there was the chief Cock
Yeah.
and Bush.
I don't think their ranks are important.
They were both captains.
Yeah, and he's like, do you prefer Cock or Bush? And he's like, well, I like Cock. I was like, doesn't Cock ride you hard? Sometimes.
The cop that he was talking to was named Dick Zucker. The only bright spot of that whole scene is that the kid is wearing a Flin Flon hockey jersey. It's the most Canadian thing that they did in this movie.
Oh yeah, this movie was 100% filmed in Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In a movie where fucking interdimensional
curling.
disagreements are settled by curling. Yes, this was the most Canadian thing in this movie. Starring Doug McKenzie as a pastor.
No, I'm sorry. Flin Flon, Manitoba's hockey jersey, to me, is more directly Canadian than curling is, because I like hockey.
So you're saying when I go as a Canadian for Halloween, I should get a Flin Flon jersey?
You absolutely should. You should just do that anyways.
Is that gonna be like a racial slur? Is that like dressing like a hula girl or like wearing a sombrero? Am I gonna get in trouble for dressing as a Canadian for Halloween?
Misappropriating Canadian culture?
Izzy, as long as you don't wear Canadian face, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
the syrup you walk around with has to be actual Canadian syrup, not Aunt Jemima's.
I'd say make sure that you also apologize, but then you would, again, be accused of cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wouldn't want to do that.
Stop
Whoa,
it.
hey.
Stop it.
What are you guys talking
Easy
about?
with that. Sorry I yelled at you, Izzy. Sorry I
Yeah,
yelled.
sorry about that, guys.
Sorry. So,
Don't
so
forget your mom.
anyway, Doug is telling the sheriff about his theory that Santa is killing everyone, and of course the sheriff is like, "I 100% believe you. Let's go." No, I'm just kidding. He thinks he's crazy.
No, the kid fucking says it in the worst way fucking possible.
Yeah.
He says it so that they think he's crazy.
Here's an idea. Why not just say, "Hey, I know it's a guy in a Santa suit murdering people." There, the end.
Yeah.
There's a guy dressed
He's
as
riding around in a
Santa.
giant flying buffalo. You know what? I think I'll leave this part
The
out.
buffalo hasn't flown
Yeah.
at this point, I don't think.
Start the interaction with Captain Cock. Have you ever seen Silent
Rain.
Night, Deadly Night? The
Oh.
first one.
I thought you were going to say, "Captain Cock, have you ever seen the rain?"
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
Come gather around, children. Let me tell you good things.
Brendan, your dog is outside our window barking.
Good job, Brendan. You got Steve singing.
About Mariah's Captain Cock and the face of whale.
Mariah really enjoys your songs, by the way, Steve.
Of course.
Hey, Mariah.
Oh no, she's not here right now. I just mean
No,
she
she's-
listens
We're doing a shout out. Yeah,
she
she's
doesn't listen to podcasts.
she's hearing this right now.
right now.
As
This
we
is
speak.
live.
Mariah, if you're hearing this right now, DM us at EILF
Well, she's
Movies.
hearing
That's
it.
everything I
Whatever
learned from
time it is
movies.
right now for her. So
it?
she's hearing that right now.
What? Wait, so when is that?
We're just blowing Brendan's mind here.
Hold on, guys, wait. So when is then?
I got a message from Mariah. Hold on.
Oh, what?
Wait, it's a picture. It's downloading. Hold on.
That's gonna take a while, Steve.
You know what? It's going to take a while. Yeah, we'll just come back to it later.
That's like 12 JPEG files.
The worst cops in the world are out in the hallway piecing together the crime, and they're noticing that for some reason all crime scenes are forming a Christmas tree pattern.
No, it's an oblong.
An irregular polygon.
But so Doug gets kicked out of the fucking sheriff's station. Santa shows up and wipes out every police officer.
Yep.
By the way, nobody in town notices that the entire police force has been, slaughtered. I have the hiccups.
No, they don't notice because this is Hell Township.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's life in
Well,
hell.
I mean,
No cops in hell.
You don't need the cops until you need them.
I mean, did you see how the cops reacted earlier with a crime scene? Do you think anyone would notice if they were gone?
It's true.
But Santa shows up. Yeah, so Santa kills them all, and then for some reason Santa's driving a cop car.
He stole the cop car at the police station.
Yeah, but just
Yeah.
use your fucking sleigh.
No, because then you wouldn't get this Terminator 2 reference.
You have a flying sleigh.
We need to make references.
That is not known to the characters in the movie.
It doesn't matter.
It's not for the characters in the movie.
Here's a question: does Terminator exist in the world in which this happens?
Canada?
Yeah, like, have these characters seen Terminator, do you think?
Yeah, we have Terminator in Canada.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
It's called.
We do
it's
in
called
St. John.
RoboCop.
Well, you have a different version of it, but I mean...
Yeah.
I will say this: when she starts explaining how the gun works to him, and him having the inability to just fire off the gun, the limitations on ammunition available for that gun, it is some of the most realistic gun talk I've ever seen in a movie.
That's how you know it happens in America.
Hold on, though. I think the scene... So Santa Claus catches up to our heroes and gets on the back of the car and tries to get in. But when they're talking about, like, oh, loading the gun and he can't shoot the gun, I thought that was just a euphemism for the fact that he's a virgin.
Well, there's that, too.
Yeah. But he finally does shoot Santa. And hilariously, she's like, you shot Santa? Well, yeah! What did you think he was getting ready to do? So he shoots Santa. Of course, it has no effect. And they quickly run back to grandfather's house into his secure bunker. I think this is at this point they finally figure out, they're like, okay, we got to get out of here. We got to basically run out the clock till it's midnight, like Greenwich Mean Time or whatever. So until Christmas is over, so Santa Claus will lose his powers. They decide to take off on some snowmobiles. However, Santa Claus shows up and confronts them.
Yes, and it looks like he has the original NWA title on.
He does. He was the champion at the time.
Yeah.
Goldberg represented the NWA. You don't remember that?
In 2005?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So wait, that never was a thing where, like, on a Christmas Monday Night Raw or something, Goldberg came out dressed as Santa and won the Intercontinental title or something?
Oh my god, you just combined so many wrong things, I want to punch myself.
How
And then
inspired...
R2-D2 came down from the USS Enterprise and...
Yeah, and he jumped in a TARDIS and flew away.
Bleep, blorp, blorp, bleep, plop.
Nerd rage!
But he does get one of my favorite lines in this movie, because his buffalo thing kills Grandpa, and he says, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
It's actually a buffalo or a yak or something, so...
By the way, most
song is incorrect.
Anticlimactic death of the entire movie. He's apparently been chasing Grandpa for 1,000 years, and that's it?
Let's the yak do all the leg lifting, or the leg work.
But the chase begins. He gets in his sleigh and he's chasing our heroes on their snowmobiles, and he's throwing present bombs at them.
Death from above.
I like the present bombs. That's pretty great. But he's chasing them down. He ends up running into Pastor Dave Thomas again, who is doing like a Christmas tree thing, and like a chorus is or choir is singing. And when he sees Santa coming towards him, he's like, "Get out of my way, skanks!"
Yeah.
But Dave Thomas ends up in Santa's sleigh right beside him. Goldberg says, "I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear." Knocks him out. Dave Thomas is in possession of Santa. That is what happens in this movie.
You mean what?
Dave Thomas is... opposite. Santa possesses...
Santa is in possession of Dave Thomas.
No! I meant the other thing! It's a twist.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm confused.
Santa kidnaps Dave Thomas, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
We're back on board.
Okay. So then our heroes make their way to a school, and he's a big pussy, so he can't figure out how to break a window.
Well, when the window's made of plexiglass and you try to punch it...
Well, he's also a big idiot.
Yes.
So she has to do all the work again and crawl underneath the window. Guys, I think this is a feminist film. This is a stealth feminist film.
Does it pass the Bechdel test? Is there another female character she talks to?
Wait a second. No. Never mind.
There's not. You're welcome.
Steve,
does she talk to any of the skanks at the Gold Digger? I don't remember.
The fact that you described it as, does she talk to any of the skanks at the Gold Digger, should tell you right then.
Oh, wait.
It does not pass the test.
I seem to remember Tess Tickler talking to Joan of Nards.
Why? Why?
Yes! These are the best names ever!
Oh, wait. A strip club where all the strippers are named after balls.
Or historical references.
Well, I mean, gold nuggets.
Joan of Nards. For years I've waited for a Joan of Arc stripper. Finally, I have it. But anyway, so they even, like, when they're trying to break in through the window, they even get a moment where she's like, you have to push me down so I can fit through the window. And she's like, oh my god, just push my tits down, you fucking
The window boobs.
moron.
Yeah. She was just like, come on, do I have to make every move in this relationship?
Yeah, grab my boobies.
Also, fun fact, as a lady, you can push your own girls down to squeeze through stuff.
Grab my boobs and give me a shove. Yes, ma'am. Zip.
Well, Santa shows up.
Yep. He makes a who's your daddy joke.
He does. He also gets the muscles all ready to go and do some kid hunting.
Ew.
When he busts out the big guns, pun intended. Guess what Patty said while we were watching this?
What?
Ooh, Santa with muscles.
What? So now you're gonna make her watch Santa with muscles, right?
I love her. No, I am not gonna do that to her.
Can I ask, why did Santa Claus suddenly have Godzilla powers?
I thought it was a yoga flame.
Yoga fire.
Because I looked away for a second and then looked up and there was a fireball and I was like, wait, did he throw that? So I rewound it.
Spitting them out like Bowser.
Yep. No, he breathes fire too.
Well, it tracks. He's the son of the devil. So.
Yeah, let's say he's from hell. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just funny that he only started using that now.
Well, he's getting more powerful the closer he gets to Christmas.
Why didn't
His
he
powers
use
will
it?
peak and then wane.
Why didn't he use that to fucking light the strip club on fire?
Well,
Because
okay.
he hadn't reached maximum power.
Right, he hadn't leveled up yet.
Yeah,
No.
well, and also, I mean, okay, if you're expelling something like, let's say you're vomiting, do you want to vomit all the time? Or if
Yes.
it's like, oh, I got these presents from the Middle East that have bombs in them, maybe I'll use those instead.
No, I'd be vomiting all the time, Steve.
And then it's like, I'm all out of weapons. Take that. Oh, that really burns my esophagus.
Yeah, the heartburn, man.
That's why he needs the milk and cookies, and there's none to be found.
We get another fantastic Christmas gag here where Goldberg's reading Charles Dickens
Yeah.
and says, Christmas really scares the Dickens out of people.
You know what? Now that since we kind of gone through some of these, I made a little compilation of Santa's greatest hits.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's listen to some of his great lines in this movie. Not all of them are like one-liners, so to speak, but just listen.
Where do you think you're going, fat boy? I thought I'd stuff some stockings. Ho, ho, hoes. Grandpa! Oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer. What in God's name are you doing? Why, I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear. Who's your daddy? Father Christmas. Not a creature is stirring. Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people. I just love how the holidays always seem to bring people closer together. I'm Santa Claus, not fucking Dracula.
Honey, I had the most terrible nightmare.
Visions of sugar plums?
There you go.
Forgot about the Dracula one.
That was my
fucking
favorite.
I have that one as a note here, too.
Yeah, because, okay, so the heroes, they make their way into an ice rink.
Before that,
Oh, the library.
his crack about I'm Santa Claus, not Dracula.
Yeah, that's when they're in the ice rink.
Earlier in the movie, when he was killing Saul Rubinek, the star David bounced off his face and he got all like "Arr!" about it. I was waiting for that to be something, and it never was.
That's because he got hit in the face with a star. You tend to, like, scrunch your face up a little bit if you get hit in the face
It
with
just
wind.
went in his forehead, though.
No, yeah,
Yeah, he got hit in the forehead with a fucking star.
The light
Somebody
was
nunchucked a
refracting
star
off
at
of the
his
necklace.
face.
No. Nobody nunchucked anything. It was just the light.
Refracting off of Saul Rubinek's necklace.
Wait, so you're saying his eyes were blinded by light?
No.
by
And he-
the Star of David.
Yeah. We're saying that,
I
like,
was
Did anybody
expecting-
else think to blind Santa?
we're saying that it appeared to be some sort of weakness, like a Dracula weakness, but for him to starve David. But much like 5,000 other things in this movie, it's a plot thread that is started and never continued.
Right.
Well, to be fair, the Star David's a little bit
be fair.
older.
To be fair, to be fair.
To be fair.
So yes. So they're okay. Let's get to the ice rink. So they're
Yeah, the ice rink in
That's
the
the most
school.
Canadian
in the
He said
school, right?
That okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Canada, the hockiest of hockey countries, and I have never been to a school that had the rink inside the school.
No,
I
never.
think you went to the wrong school.
Obviously, I did.
Well, you
'Cause
see,
there's one in Edmonton apparently where this was filmed.
well, you see, some parents who truly love their children earn a little extra money to send their kids to a better school so that they can live
Well-
a better life.
Wait, Nathan. I will say this though. As you said, apparently a school in Edmonton. I guarantee you, the rink and the school are not the same building.
What?
Shocker.
I don't know. Edmonton, that's definitely a well-to-do province as far as money goes, especially in 2005.
You mean Alberta is
I-
a well-to-do province?
Sorry, yes, Alberta. Edmonton being a city.
Yes.
I feel that there is a distinct possibility that they could have filmed this at a school that had a hockey rink in it. Not because of, the movie the money was going to generate, but just that it was a pre-existing structure somewhere in Edmonton.
They could have, but I doubt it was like, let's find one. It was probably like, let's shoot in this school. Oh shit, there's an ice rink. I guess we could use that too.
That's a possibility as well.
Oh, good. We can finally have this curling thing come back into play.
Santa Claus comes after them in a Zamboni. And instead of just, I don't know, running towards them and murdering them with a fire or something. But anyway, he's driving towards them with a Zamboni, and they shine a flashlight in his face, and that's when he says, I'm Santa Claus, not fucking Dracula. But then, twist! Grandpa's back, because
Right.
he is the angel that made the bet with Santa Claus. And he
Bum,
says,
bum, bum.
let's make another bet. But this time, like Nathan said earlier, instead of 1,000 years, you have to be good forever. Because that's how you want your Santa Claus horror movie to end, with a curling game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks. I think I'll just kill everybody.
I think I have the upper hand.
They start the curling game, which means that Shatan has agreed to the terms.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really get that, because then he just throws Grandpa into the hell pit.
Right, which means he is disqualified, he loses, therefore loses the bet.
Steve,
Good
can
day,
you get,
sir.
Steve, can you get the curling rule book out there for a minute?
The what now?
The curling rulebook. Look up
All right.
specifically.
Once every 4 years, people
No.
will remember that curling is technically a sport in some provinces.
Not that part.
skip-
the part
skip?
that
Okay.
the part that governs
Tossing
throwing someone into a
other
hellhole.
people- Oh, okay. 5 minutes for throwing an opponent into a curling
Hellhole.
circle. High sticking. Okay, let's see here.
You go too far. Back a little bit. Hellhole.
Hellhole. Oh yeah, disqualification. There we go.
There we go.
See?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Grandpa's thrown in there, but hilariously, I don't know if it's hilariously, but thankfully, they have one of Grandpa's inventions, the Nutcracker, and
Yep.
Nicholas shoots Santa with it and says, "Chest, nut."
yeah, but I have a note here. Why does she say scary yet educational?
Oh, wait, I do want to play that scene. So this is the last little clip here. This is so they decide, they tell Santa, like, you can't be evil anymore because it's past midnight now, so Christmas is over. However,
Right.
Santa Claus has another explanation.
The clock just struck midnight at the pole. Christmas is officially over for you, Santa.
You know, most people make the same mistake. The correct time at the pole is completely discretionary. because the poles are where all the time zones actually converge.
Scary yet educational.
So, what I'm saying, nitwits, is that Christmas is over when I say it's over.
Yep.
I can't believe Santa
my-
just used the N-word.
Yeah. It's because he's evil Santa.
It's 2018,
On
Santa.
someone nitwits like that.
Whoa.
Whoa, I didn't. That's our word.
All right, everybody, get on the ground. Get on the ground. You can't talk like that around here. Hey, hashtag we do.
CBC.
Canadian Broadcasting Network.
Nathan, I knew we would get kicked off one day.
So sorry, I gotta shut you down.
So, they get Santa down. They save Grandpa from the pit. Meanwhile, Santa still has Dave Thomas as his sex slave.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Grandpa, for some reason, though, now he can't leave the ice rink. He's just like, I'm a slave to this place now. Okay, sure, why
No,
not?
he says he can't leave, but then he leaves.
When does he leave?
He, like, vanishes or
Oh, I think he
whatever.
goes back to, like, heaven or something. But I think it just means, like, in the physical world, he can't leave the ice rink.
So he couldn't go. He couldn't go with them. They had to do this
Yeah.
part of the journey on their
If
own.
there's, if there's anything I learned from the movie Angels in the Crease, what? It's like Angels in the Outfield, but Canadian.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
That's all I got.
That was a real thing there for a second.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, I gotta watch this movie.
Starring Paul Gross as
Of course it is.
No, that's called Gone with Bruce.
Canada's Tony Danza.
Paul Gross and the ghost of Leslie Nielsen.
Yes, I'm in.
Buck Frobisher.
Oh, it's due south all over again.
So, okay, we're at the end here. So we
Thank God.
So they save Grandpa. Santa takes off. Grandpa says, "Listen, you can still stop him. He's pretty much powerless at this point. Just end him. Put an end to this forever." So they find the NRA basically in the middle of the fucking winter.
Right, because they're out looking at the northern lights or stargazing or something.
One of them has a fucking voice box. So he's basically like,
He's coming right for us.
yeah.
That guy was awesome.
No,
By the way,
no,
it did take
Jimbo.
It did take me a while to realize that was a guy and not a chick. That could have been Grandma,
Hashtag don't assume.
right?
But they basically, Nicholas and, her name is Mary. We haven't said her name once. The girlfriend. They show up. By the way, hilarious.
This
Nicholas,
movie does not pass the Bechdel test. Neither does this podcast on this one.
You're right. No women talk to each other.
Wait a second.
Testicles.
Who's this? It's Mariah. Who is he?
Oh, hi, Mariah.
Let's talk about each other.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't talk about any gentlemen, so that way we can pass the Bechdel test.
Gather around, children, let me tell you.
We can talk about Mariah's penis.
Wait, this podcast just passed the Bechdel test. You're welcome, Nathan.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My, what a lovely cock you have, Mariah.
Fun fact: the Bechdel test is flawed.
You don't say.
completely off the rails. So they tell the NRA there's this giant reindeer buffalo thing that you guys can shoot, and I know you'll love that. So they're like, yeah, let's kill it. So
Oh, what do you call it, a sky deer or something?
yeah, something stupid like that. So Santa's like, riding his sleigh in the sky, and so everyone starts shooting. They blow up the sleigh. Sleigh crashes. However, Pastor Dave Thomas is the one in the sleigh, so everybody thinks he's the murderer. And then the cops show up, and then in front of everyone, they start sawing body parts off of fucking Dave Thomas. This guy's like, hold on, don't wait till fucking people leave. Just start sawing his arms and legs off in front of everyone. But then, of course, Santa is not dead. He goes and he's in his Hell's Angels gear, I guess. And he goes and gets a flight to the North Pole.
Yep.
This is where the lady working the counter pronounces his name Satan.
Yeah, and he's like, it's Shatan.
Like the hockey player.
Yeah. Another Canadian reference.
It's a weird final scene. Like, I know there's jokes. There's jokes, kind of, but it's pretty, like, not funny. Like, it's just kind of, like, pretty straight as a final scene.
And did you notice he he takes a quick peek directly down the pipe of the camera.
I didn't notice that.
Uh,
But he basically just takes a seat, and he's going to get a flight back to the North Pole. Credits!
Enter
outtakes.
more freaking ridiculous music.
Cue the not outtakes first, which is just literally
Yeah.
scenes from the movie. Because
But
we got to
I
pad
think-
this motherfucker.
No, I think at that point there was supposed to be credits for those actors, but they never put the text in.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Because if you watch it, it's each individual actor almost like a direct headshot
Yep.
of them framed. Like it should be like Saul Rubinek, James Caan, or Alan Smithy maybe in this case.
Yeah.
Whoever did the fucking credits on the title design on this movie really dropped the ball.
To say the least.
Well, guys, I will ask the ultimate question now before we go to break. Would you recommend Santa's Sleigh? Let's start with our guests. Izzy.
No.
Wow. Very distinct. Okay.
Nope.
Steve?
If you like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and even the sequels and reboots and whatever they've had, it might be worth a gander. But you know what? You can just watch the first 5 minutes on YouTube, and that pretty much sets it right there.
All right, Nathan?
I actually kind of would.
Yeah.
But I like I said, I wasn't looking forward to watching it, and I'm certainly not going to be going out to buy it on Blu-ray DVD. But
It's on YouTube.
I did manage to derive a certain amount of fun from it. So I mean, if you're in the right headspace, especially in Canada since October, it's a great movie to watch.
Yeah, I will actually second that and say I did enjoy it a lot more than I remembered it, because I had seen it once like a long time ago, and I remembered it as just being really stupid. Well, it is really stupid, but being really like unwatchable. But it's definitely not. I definitely enjoyed how ridiculous and dumb it was.
Yeah, at least it's like an hour and 10 minutes or something.
Exactly. It's literally 74 minutes without credits, guys.
Yeah, it gets points for being brief.
Yeah. So, that being said, we are going to take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back!
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLOCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLOCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk. And we're back!
Oh my god, those were the greatest ads that ever added in the history of adding. Are you mocking me? Are you mocking the only female on this here podcast?
Hashtag time's up, Nathan.
It was my NPR air horn.
Whip, whip, wham.
Right.
Nathan?
Yes, Brendan.
Steven and Izzy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Brendan.
Yes,
It's time for the low haiku.
The low haiku, where we perfectly encapsulate the movie we've just talked about in 17 syllables.
Sounds delicious.
It does.
So, our guests, did you prepare haikus?
I believe Steve has a haiku prepared for us.
Okay.
Sure. One moment. Santa Claus is here. Spreading Christmas cheer? Something? Oh, look, Fran Drescher.
That was just written just recently.
Written? Yes, totally written down. Not just random syllables
Composed.
thrown in a general direction. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Goldberg asked Kringle. Budget blown on cameos. Dad jokes were on point.
Steve, are you doing your tongue wagging?
No.
Because just like you, Brendan, he can't snap.
I think he can. He's just being a dink.
He's being a dick.
All right. Last
In
one
Canada, it's pronounced dink.
Fun fact, gentlemen.
Fun
Now
fact.
it's on Mariah.
All
Super fun
Steves are dicks.
But are all dicks Steves?
No, but all Steves are dicks.
Ooh. It's like a
Only the
riddle.
finest.
Okay, here's the final haiku. Jewish Santa Claus killing all the motherfucks. But first, curling game. Thank you.
Some strong language for NPR.
I'm sorry, we'll lose our sponsorship with Johnson's Maple Syrup.
Johnson's maple syrup, the only maple syrup you can trust your family to.
Johnson's Maple Syrup, it's not just for testicles anymore.
It's like the only maple syrup I'll put on my Johnson.
Oh, guys, we're out. We're out. We're out. Steve's Johnson was too much for me to handle there.
It's a
Yikes.
lot. I know from experience. Hey, Steve, what do we always say at a time like this?
Don't take a word for it.
So yes, don't take our word for it, guys. Well,
That's
critics gave it a not applicable on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right?
Because it's not a real movie, or what?
Yeah, it's a water park, so it's not applicable.
Right.
And the audience gave it a 42%. So
That's, yeah. If they go into it, like I said, knowing what you're getting into, I could see it being rating at least that high.
well, Nathan, I think we do have a few critics reviews though. I think there's about 2 or 3 on there. If there's any one of those that you would like to start us off with.
David Cornelius
No.
from Hollywood Bitch Slap.
Yes.
It's cheap, it's goofy, but it's surprisingly smart and endlessly entertaining.
I don't know about smart.
I don't know about entertaining.
What are you talking about, Izzy?
It's definitely not endless.
74 minutes. Okay, so I just have audience ones because like there's three reviews. I don't take any of them. This is I'll read the first couple because they're just short. This one gives it 4 stars, and he says, "I was floored by the names in the cast of this movie: Fran Drescher, James Caan, Chris Kattan, Dave Thomas. It's hilarious. Perfect horror for the holidays." Yeah, that all-star cast that you just named. And James Caan.
Those are all the stars he knows.
And this one gives it 3.5 stars, and he just says, "I don't know how to live anymore."
I did note, what is this world I'm living in at one point in the movie, because I was watching Santa Claus take apart a strip joint after making out with strippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what?
So I feel that review is a valid point.
Steve and Izzy, would you like to read a review?
I think I got one here. Hold on.
Okay.
That caught my attention. From Ryan Cracknell of the Movie Views.
Ooh.
Santa Sleigh stands as one of the ultimate Christmas B-flicks. For my time, it's no Jack Frost or Jack Frost 2, but it does have a couple inspiring moments. I assume he's going to talk about he's talking about the Michael Keaton Jack Frost?
I hope so. Yeah, the sequel.
No, he is not.
The sequel's when Michael Keaton comes back, right?
Yeah, it's a Jack Frost 2 White Noise or something like that.
I have a review here from David Nasser from Real Film Reviews. He says, Goldberg... I almost said Gilberg. That would have been great.
Oh my god.
Goldberg delivers on an appropriately tongue-in-cheek performance, imbuing his Santa Claus with a nice balance of malevolence and sleaziness.
His Santa Claus, he doesn't really change his voice, though. Like,
I was going to say, I guess both being jacked up to 11 makes it balanced,
yeah,
technically.
he's pretty one note the whole movie.
Yeah, he's either killing people or being a sleazebag.
This is a little bit longer, but this is a review. They rated it not interested. I guess make your bad children watch this if you want them to take Christmas seriously. Good kids versus bad kids getting presents. No idea what that means. Or just point them in the wrong direction altogether, causing them to help B movies make their money and raise them to not to know good movies from a hole in the ground. Might want to make your own assumptions and scary tales to make your children abide by your rules. This flick, haven't seen it and won't, will probably force the schools to hold your kids back a year or two. Never know.
That was an incredibly confusing one, because
Yep,
obviously
that was.
he's never seen it, so he has no idea what he's talking about. I rate that reviewer as 0.
Izzy, I would like you from now on to grade every review.
I will grade the reviews and the reviewers. That review gets a 0, that reviewer gets a -1.
We got any other ones? I just have one more, but if you guys have any
I've got one here, but if Steve and Izzy have one, by
Yeah,
all
go for
means,
it.
have at it.
No, I'm here to judge the judgers.
Okay. All right, so Alex Roy, who is a super reviewer on Rotten Tomatoes,
Ooh.
bought this film for $4 at a used DVD store. I heard about this film and how funny and terrifying it was.
Super reviewer.
Santa's Sleigh is a terrific above average comedy horror film with plenty of laughs and awesome kills. This is one of the best B horror films I've ever seen. The thing that surprises me the most was that Brett Ratner produced this film, and considering he butchered the third X-Men film and directing those awful Rush Hour films, he does manage to produce something good here. Santa's Sleigh is high on laughs, and to complement the high amount of laughs, there is a high body count. If Halloween is traditional Halloween viewing, then Santa's Sleigh is traditional viewing for the Christmas holidays. A terrific comedy horror film.
Izzy?
The review started out pretty poor, but he turned it back around. I don't necessarily agree with him, but I'm going to give him a 3 out of 5. As for the reviewer himself, I don't think he's doing a ton of higher math, so I'm going to give him a 2.
All right, I'm really curious to see what you think of this one, Izzy. This is the last audience review here. Do you guys have another one, or?
No,
No.
Oh, okay.
Judging the judgers.
All right, so here we go. This person gives it 1 star. Okay, so my mom, sister, and I started watching this, and right off the bat, Santa starts killing people, and so we stopped watching it. And you want to know something? Santa spells Satan. Like, what the fuck? 1 star.
I am going to go ahead and assume that since he mentioned he saw it with his mom and his sister, that he's 40 and lives in their basement. He didn't finish watching the movie, so therefore he gets 0 stars on his review because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
He was accurate. They do start killing people right away, but he turned it off, so therefore he doesn't get a chance to review. As for being a 40-year-old guy who lives in his mom and sister's basement, I'm going to have to give him a -2.
Why does the sister get to live upstairs?
I'm totally picturing the scene from fucking Billy Madison, where the guy's like, everybody here is dumber for having heard you say that. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's exactly.
Izzy, I want to bring you back every 2 weeks just to review the reviews.
I'm going to start a spin-off podcast where I review the reviews you read on your review section of your podcast.
Please do that just as a section on everything I learned from movies. So that was Santa's Sleigh.
It was.
Those are some terrific reviews. Now, for the next episode we're doing, in 2 weeks, we are doing another Patreon pick. As it were, yes. From Luke. Patreon Luke has selected our next movie, but we're not going to reveal what it is this time. We're just going to give a little hint ski. So, Nathan, if you want to take the floor and hint away.
Yes. This is me.
Yeah. All right.
I need to get my instrument right here.
Okay. You're all right. All right, just give it a hint.
Okay, I'll do. My hint is, God damn you, Wyoming.
There you go. If people remember Wyoming, you'll have a good idea of what's coming. Well, we do have an interview next week with Mr. Joseph Culp, so check that out too. But in 2 weeks, we will be talking about that movie that Nathan just hinted at.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
So excited, I can't wait.
Izzy, contain yourself.
Oh my god. Gummy bears.
Speaking of jizzing all over the place, Steve and Izzy, would you like to promote your podcast?
Sure, just give me a
Call
sec.
her Steven Jizzy?
Steve and Jizzy.
I feel offended as a woman.
Not okay.
Hey, wait. Steve and Jizzy at everything I spermed from movies.
Oh my god, it's getting worse.
And I'm retired.
All right, so be sure to check out our podcast, My Fellow Filmericans.
No, that's not it. You will not promote that.
Or our other one, Everything I Learned from Movies at eilfm.podbean.com. And of course, check us out on Twitter and Facebook and all that at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies. We got some great movies coming up for January,
Yeah,
but
we do.
follow us to get details
What's our
on all
theme
that.
for January, Steve?
Do we want to say right here?
I don't know. Do you want to let the Canadians know?
It's January of the Apes.
Oh, shit!
Oh, I thought you were doing
Yeah.
Netflix things.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's for our bonus episodes on Patreon.
Okay.
You can follow us at Patreon /EILF Movies and get all kinds of bonuses and stuff.
Yeah, our Patreon members are about to get, as Brendan had to spoil, about to get some bonus content unavailable to the masses. So feel free to sponsor us on Patreon so you can gain access to these extra special episodes.
Yeah, and Brendan actually has a couple things arriving in the mail shortly, as long as the Canadian Postal Service does their thing. But
One
yeah,
story.
but yeah, we got interviews, all kinds of like commentaries, lots of mini episodes and stuff. Check us out, won't you?
Okay. Was that ad
And
just for me?
That was just for you,
That's it,
Brendan.
just for you. And also, if you like Brandon and Nathan, they oftentimes come on over to our episodes
Who the
too.
fuck is Brandon, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, Brandon might come with me.
Yeah, we have Brandon. Also, Brent comes on sometimes.
All right,
Brenda
so
comes over.
patreon.com, unsubscribe.
No, he'll never get the bonus episodes.
Yeah, we have talked about movies on your show as well. That is correct.
That's correct.
Including
And thank you
Show
for
Girls
having us on
too.
your show.
Oh, thank you for
Oh.
coming. All over the place.
Please clean up.
And if you're a fan of this here show, and you're a fan of Montrose Monkington, you can hear about his origins on our podcast.
Oh my god. Yes, you can. Wait. Wait, okay, guys, we need to nip this in the bud right now because it's been a long-standing feud and it's Christmas time. I just want to get this, settled. So, Montrose, will you please come in?
Yes, hello.
Yes. Okay, Montrose's father, come on.
What does everybody want? It's too
Okay,
early
you
for
guys need to make up. It's Christmas. Hash it out right now.
this. But
I'm
Who's this?
sorry, Brendan. We're far too British for that sort of thing.
Son, Merry Christmas.
He said it!
Father! I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Oh, I did as well.
No, it appears neither one of us are living up to our promises.
Embrace me, you bastard!
Oh, why have we wronged each other for so long?
The The most awkward part about this is I thought they were Jewish.
What?
No, we're British.
How dare you,
Stop it.
son?
Stop with that bloody music!
What is that?
I think Brendan's coming.
Good lord.
And I'm done. That's the only reason I wanted you to reunite.
Brendan just can't get it off unless two monkeys are embracing.
That's right. So now that I've plugged my shit, Nathan, Montrose.
With what?
Don't ask. Don't ask. It's a reason
No.
why this is an audio-only podcast.
Oh. Montrose.
Good lord.
Goodbye.
After your lovely reunion with your father, which got me off sexually, would you like to plug your stuff?
You have ruined this entire thing with your terribleness.
So it means you hate each other again?
I've
No,
got to go
I-
now. My job is done here.
Loathe
As the angel
you.
saving everyone from Santa.
Steve, the monkey drank all our rum again.
Son of a bitch!
He is a bit of a lush. I won't deny that.
Yes.
So, and now, and I'm trying to get past this whole thing that Brendan has done. I'm just going to soldier forth. Do check out my YouTube channel, Montrose Monkington TV. You can also find me on Facebook at Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends. You may also follow me on Twitter at Montrose III. That's the number 3. RD. I will actually be having some stuff up for the most recent WWE pay-per-view, the tables, ladders, and chairs, and possibly a well wish for Christmas to all the friends of Montrose. Thank you. More later.
With all that being said, we should plug our podcast, obviously.
Yes.
We have a podcast, the one you're currently listening to. It's called What Were They Thinking? You can find us at all the podcatchers like iTunes / Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, obviously. Find us on Facebook. Just search What Were They Thinking. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. Patreon.com / WWTT Podcast. Patreon is actually the reason for this episode and the next two. They are all Patreon picks. So,
And it's actually the reason. It's the reason for this episode. Just because it was a Patreon pick, but because of what Brendan did with his Patreon pick, in that he made Steve watch Santa with Muscles, and I apologize on his behalf, Steve.
It's alright. It wasn't.
And I retract his apology on my behalf. Suffer!
Good day, sir.
I said good day.
I said good day.
But yeah, so...
lose good day.
Bidet?
No, I said you lose good day.
Okay, good day.
Good day.
Good day.
What if we...
Wait,
say good day.
Gal
Okay, I
Gadot?
said good day. What? Gal Gadot? Yo,
Gal
guys,
Gadot,
wanna
the
hear my
star
Gal
of Wonder
Gadot
Woman?
impression? I do a really good Gal Gadot impression. Listen to Steve's game show if you want to hear it.
That's right. It's pretty fantastic.
Okay, anyway. So all that being said... Nathan.
Yes, Brandon.
Nathan.
Yes, Brendan.
Do you have any questions, i.e. in regards to EXEG ... Santa Sleigh?
Oh, actually, before I get to my questions about that,
okay.
did we mention the wrestling joke at the end of the credits?
Oh, you mean this one?
Who's next?
Yes, Goldberg checks the list and says, "Who's next?" which was his line when he was a wrestler.
Wah, wah. Sure was.
Brendan told me to sit through the credits, all the credits.
Right?
Yep.
And I thought, okay, they're doing like a stinger at the end. This will be worth it. Mm-hmm. It was not worth it.
Absolutely not.
Worth it.
Damn you,
worth
Brandon.
it. Even less worth it for Steve and Izzy because there was no outtakes leading up to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just credits, and it's like, all right, well, maybe, all right, just wait a minute, too. Oh,
Wait, did you guys-
something's happening. Something's happening. That's it.
I wonder what vindictive crew member got to decide which crew members were naughty or nice during the credits, though.
All right.
Because they were
Yeah,
like,
they definitely picked it.
I don't know who got to pick that.
yeah. Well, the cast was based on their characters, obviously, But when
Yeah.
it got to the crew, I was like, wait, why is the best boy grip naughty and why is the production supervisor nice? Like,
I will say this: I think, or I hope, that the guy who kept yelling "I want it" after the weird yak thing acted up on set, he better get it checked off as nice.
better
'cause- yeah.
yeah. Again,
Yes,
best part of that movie is Goldberg going up to the yak and being like, goodbye.
So, I do have a couple questions.
Okay.
I mean, in a movie that has actually a pretty noteworthy cast,
Yeah.
despite the fact that they were almost all rendered pointless cameos. In a movie where a very loose plot is strung together with, man, wouldn't it be cool if killed somebody this way?
Yeah.
And a movie that actually was far more entertaining to me than it deserved to be. I just have to ask, Brett Ratner particularly,
Merry Christmas?
what were they thinking?
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Yourself a
Merry little Christmas.
Alright.
Very good.
And stop.
It's time, let's check our cue, baby. Pair it with a couple brews, baby. We love good movies. We love the bad ones too. So we watch them all and pass their lessons on to you. Oh yeah. Everything I learned from movies helps to make life a little bit groovy. Whether one last plot holes or gratuitous movies, it's time to get busy with your friend Steve and Izzy at eilfm.podbean.com.
Was A Quiet Place inspired by Signs, It Comes at Night, and War for the Planet of the Apes? Was Ready Player One influenced by Avatar, Wreck-It Ralph, and The Last Starfighter? Is The Hurricane Heist more influenced by Sharknado or Geostorm? These are the kinds of questions my guest co-hosts and I discuss on my podcast, Piecing It Together. Every week, we look at a new movie and try to figure out what other movies inspired it. Whether it's the story, the character development, tone, or even use of music. Every movie was influenced by something that came before it, and we want to figure out what. Check out Piecing It Together on your favorite podcast app or check us out on piecingpod.com. You can also follow us on social media at piecingpod. Piecing It Together is a part of the All Points West podcast network.